So last video, pinag-usapan natin yung team needs ng Barangay Ginebra. Ano yung mga kulang sa roster, ano yung mga gaps, ano yung mga possible na logic na pwedeng dalhin papunta sa draft night. Ano yung mga possible moves. And sinabi ko doon sa video na yon na part 1 yon, and yung part 2, pag-uusapan natin yung specific players or listahan ko na mismo. So ayun, yun yung gagawin natin this video. Lahat ng sasabihin ko dito, opinion ko lang, and this is my personal list. That's the nature of this platform, you know. Lahat naman tayo may kanya-kanya. It just so happens na mas makapal yung mukha ko to make a video about it. Anyway, so sineperate ko into 3 parts. So una, yung picks from 8 to 13 range. Ang Barangay Ginebra, magse-select sila. As of recording this video, wala pang nangyayaring trade or whatsoever. Kung wala mang mangyayari, okay lang din naman. Magse-select sila picks 11 and 13. So yung 13 second round na yon, 11 sa first round. So nag-collate ako ng players para sa 8 to 13 range. Either sakto lang, either pwedeng mag-drop or some sort of a reach sa spots na to. And then yung susunod, mga trade-up candidates, hindi tayo masyado magda-dive deep dito kasi, you know, in theory lang naman to. May possibility lang naman, pero maliit pa rin naman yung chance na mangyari kasi last year, di ba, kinuha nila yung pick nung green na team. And it's very likely na gagawin ulit. Nag-static yung audio, pero basically ang sinabi ko lang, yung pangatlo ay ang Jonar Clarito specialty pick na basically mga sleepers, mga possible draft steals sa draft na to. These are some players na meron akong, you know, blinded faith, kumbaga, na parang meron akong unparalleled belief sa kakayahan nito mga players. So anyway, so may 3 parts, 3 sections. Unahin muna natin yung pinaka, you know, likely, yung 8 to 13 range. First player, na-mention ko na siya sa previous video, is going to be Koon from Ateneo. So, medyo mababa yung stats ni Koon kasi nag-start yung season 87 na wala siya, injured siya. So, medyo slow start pa yung balik niya. Then, by the end of the conference or by the end of the season, medyo nag-pick up naman na yung laro niya. So, si Koon ay isang 6'5" point forward from Ateneo. Siya yung player na may familiar name, obviously, and from a very popular school. So, ito yung reason why some people would have him higher sa listahan nila. Kasi kilala si Koon, familiar name siya, and medyo matangkad relatively to the position that he plays. Pero yung laro kasi ni Koon is so niche, very specific siya, na he might drop kasi yung skill set niya only works with one specific team. At Barangay Ginebra yon. Para sa akin kasi, if Koon, you know, goes 5 or 6, top 5, top 6, top 7, yung 7 medyo okay na yon. Pero if kung top 5 si Koon, for me medyo mataas for a guy like Koon. Kasi yes, he is very skilled, but it doesn't really translate compared sa mga shortcomings niya or sa kakulangan ng laro niya right now. Anyway, sa UAAP Season 87, Koon averaged 7.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game. Ang biggest downside sa laro ni Koon ay yung shooting niya. He's particularly known, you know, as a shooter, pero doesn't really shoot the ball quite well. Sa season na yan, he only shot 30.2% from the field and 25.9% from 3. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, pero that's bad. It's not the end of the world. Ang mas vina-value ko, kaya gusto ko si Koon i-draft ng Ginebra, is yung skill set. Kasi, di ba, sino pa bang team ang vina-value ang size and skills over shooting, di ba? None other than Barangay Ginebra. So ako, despite the clear red flags, willing akong i-ignore yon. If available sa pick 11 si Koon, nasa tuktok talaga siya ng draft board sa position na yun if available siya. Just because of the size, the skills, and the potential na, you know, Team Koon is not known to develop players, pero meron ng canvas, meron ng tools si Koon. Fine-tune na lang, di ba, to really fit the system. And mababaw rin naman yung draft. Kumuha na lang ng medyo absurd na player in hope na maging solid siya in the future. Kumbaga, hindi naman palagi na makakahanap ka ng point forward na 6'5" sa PBA draft. Na, you know, nanggaling sa program kagaya ng Ateneo kay Coach 𝗵𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗁. So, habang may chance, and if malagay sa posisyon na ganun, why not, diba? Pero anyway, ang comparison ko kay Koon, I'm going to do this sa video. Huwag niyo masyadong seryosohin, guys. Take this with a grain of salt. For fun lang to. Ang lazy comparison ko kay Koon ay si 𝗵𝗀𝗏𝗏. Similar size, similar skill set, and if Koon becomes 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 na available to play and hindi laging injured, diba? Not bad for an 11 pick sa isang draft class na sobrang babaw. Siguro if anything, I'd say Koon is a better ball handler and may pagka-Franz Wagner ng onti yung vibes niya. Vibes lang naman. Pero still, sa triangle offense, he reminds me of an Art de la Cruz. And if we're going to be, delusional, best case scenario, he turns into Bong Hawkins. Pero pwede siya maging Stephen Holt off the bench if he becomes a consistent outside shooter for Barangay Ginebra. So, ang susunod na player ay si Yukien Andrada from San Beda. Isa siyang 6'5 na stretch 4. Again, decent size for his position. I'm not going to argue na stretch 4, 6'5 lang, dapat 6'7. We're going to take whatever na available. And some people have Andrada higher, some lower, kagaya Chris Koon. Pero I think it's safe to assume na Yukien Andrada is going within 8 to 12. 13 if talagang mag-drop na siya. Unless, may mag-reach sa kanya around 6 or 7. Sa huling NCAA season nilalaroan ni Yukien Andrada, he averaged 12.4 points, 3.6 rebounds, and almost 2 assists per game. He is one of the better shooters sa draft na to. Meron siyang potential to become, a small forward, pero right now, skill set wise, he's more suited as a stretch 4, and it's not bad kasi PBA naman to, 6'5", stretch 4, passable na siya in today's game. And I have here Brian Santos as my lazy comparison for him. Pero I think Yukien can do a little bit more. Kumbaga, mas parang remix si Yukien ng Brian Santos at Aris Dionisio. And I wouldn't be surprised if kunin ng rain or shine si Yukien, tapos maging solid starter or even, a mini star player siya for rain or shine. If available siya sa 11 and if Koon is too risky, diba, for rain or shine. So for Barangay Ginebra ulit, I think if Yukien gets drafted before Chris Koon and si Chris Koon is available sa 11, I'd take Chris Koon. Pero if maagang makuha si Chris Koon and Yukien drops, I'd take Yukien. Siya yung susunod sa draft board ko. And last player sa 8 to 13 range, this is more of a reach. A lot of people have him sa second round. Pwede pa nga to pang 13, it's CJ Austria from LaSalle. And I have him here for one reason only. Nakakainis kasi si CJ Austria. And Ginebra needs that type of player ulit. CJ Austria is a 6'3", annoying two-way wing. Last MPBL season niya, roughly 10 minutes a game, in which he averaged almost 5 points, 2.3 rebounds, an assist per game, shot 46.5% from the field and 26.3% from 3 points. Watching CJ Austria, and based from my memory, he's a better shooter than 26%. Right now, Austria is more of a 2.5D kasi yung shooting hindi pa fully nandun. Pero meron namang potential. My lazy comparison is John Wilson. Again, sasabihin ko ulit to na para sa draft na sobrang babaw, if you manage, to get a solid bench guy, panalo na yon. Next section naman ay trade up options. Dito pag-uusapan lang natin ng mabilis kasi I've talked about this sa previous video. And I know may mga magsasabi na unrealistic pero it is what is it. We're not mainstream media. Pwede natin gawin kahit anong gusto natin dito. This is partly for fun lang naman. Kaya pagbigyan nyo na ako. And honestly, we can't really rule out this possibility. Anyway, if possible, ang trade spots na pwedeng makuha ng Ginebra sa draft ay pick number 1 at saka pick number 4. Either or. Ako personally, I have one. 𝗪𝗀 sa number 1. Pero I would honestly understand if 𝗪𝗀𝗀 becomes the guy. If ever lang naman na mag-trade up ang Barangay Ginebra sa number 1. If sa number 4 sila, I think they would take 𝗀𝗄 kasi 𝗪𝗀𝗀 would be, unavailable at that point. Baka kinuha na ng Phoenix. Unfortunately, as much as I like Juan Gomez de Leaño, I think pag nag-number 1 ng Ginebra, they will definitely go for 𝗪𝗀𝗀. Just because mababaw ang draft and si 𝗪𝗀𝗀 lang yung talagang legit big boy might go higher than expected. Yes, much improved na si 𝗪𝗀𝗀 pero is still not better than Juan or 𝗀𝗄. Pero I have a hunch na mauuna siyang mapick just because 6'10 siya. The talent doesn't really matter. Mas priority ng Ginebra is to draft a solid big or even a big na lang in general than to get, the best available. At pagsisisiyan nila yon in the long run kasi may available na Mark Kagiwa sa draft class. So let's talk about the sleeper picks. Una si Jack Cruz Dumo, 6'3" shooter from UE. He was a very solid shooter for them. Sa UAAP season 87, he played roughly 20 minutes a game in which he averaged almost 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, shot 37.5% from the field. Watching sa film, talagang natural shooter siya. And talagang very specialist type of vibes. Ang talagang lazy comparison ko, unfortunately, is going to be 𝗕𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵. Kasi ang question ko for 𝗵𝗀𝗛𝗵𝗵, di ba? What else? Ano pa? Ano pa ang kayang ma-provide ng isang JCD para maikse? Kasi if he becomes a pure shooter, hindi na rin naman masama. As long as, he shoots the ball quite well and hindi hologram sa defense, panalo na yon, especially makuha mo sa pick number 13 to. Pero unfortunately, if hindi mag-translate yung ibang parts ng game niya and yung shooting lang mag-translate, he might end up as, a 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵 type of player na hindi rin ganong nagagamit kasi nga very one-dimensional player. Pero sa draft class na ganito, if you get a legit shooter at pick number 13, hindi na masama. And the next guy is my best kept secret is 𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵. So, if you're watching this, guys, ang promise nyo lang sana sa akin, wag nyong gagawa ng post sa Facebook si 𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗁. Let's keep this secret. Sikreto lang to. Wag nating i-hype si 𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗁. Please lang. Kaya ako nilagay siya sa pinakadulo. 𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗁 is a 6'5" stretch 4 from Adamson. Sa MPBL, sa Quezon Huskers, he played roughly 17 minutes a night, a game, in which he averaged 6 points, 5 rebounds, almost 3 assists, shot 31.3% from outside. Pero if you watch him dito sa clips na ipapakita ko right now, promise, makikita nyo kung ano yung gusto kong sabihin about 𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗁. Kahit hindi na nga ako magsalita, ipi-play ko na lang yung 3-pointers niya and you guys be the judge. So ayun, maglilimit lang ulit kay 𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗁 kagaya kay 𝗵𝗀𝗛𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵. What else? Ano pa? So yung original recording, grabe na yung static kanya, hindi na siya okay sa tenga. So ulitin ko na lang, record ko na lang ulit. Closing na rin naman to, part na to. So basically, ito na lahat yon ng nasa listahan ko, nasa target list ko personally as a fan. So kung irarank ko lahat ng nandito sa board na to, from top to bottom, tatanggalin natin yung target or yung trade-up options kasi hindi naman siya realistic as of recording this video unless may mangyari. Pero kung tatanggalin muna natin ng nasa pinakatuktok ng board ko for Ginebra is Koon because of the fit and the size and yung absurdity na bihira ka lang makakita ng 6'5" point forward, especially sa ganitong class and draft class. The second player is Yukien, Andrada. Again, 6'5", can shoot, can develop further pa into something else, maybe as a small forward. And then toss-up na to para sa akin, tatlo, 𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵, tsaka Austria. I like Austria, pero kung yung shooting, hindi gano'n magta-translate sa pros or sa PBA, I would rather have 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵. And then, 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗏𝗵 could be, the 13th pick for them. Kasi still, 6'5" pa rin naman siya, can shoot, maybe, can offer a little bit more at this point of his career compared to the other players sa dulo ng bench ng Ginebra.